Happy Friday, one and all. With Giuseppe Ottiovani this Friday. Been a crazy week, been a good week. How's your week been? Gonna do some reflections in a second, but first of all, if you're curious, the Human Development Space takes place across the 20th and the 21st of July 2022. Still a chance, the last 7 days, to book and join Joe Homstead and I for what will be yet again another incredible, connected, exploratory experience. Happy weekend, one and all. Hope you're well. Music by Giuseppe Ottiovani. So what I wanted to do is just share a few things with you that's been going on this week. I just shared you a little bit about the Human Development Space coming up in just 2 weeks' time. Super, super exciting. But let's just get to it. So this past couple of weeks, past few days, it's been absolutely amazing. I just love to do some reflections in case it's helpful for you, in case it gets you thinking, reflecting, exploring in your own experience. Let me just share with you the wonderful Rehenna Begum. This human being is one of the most off the charts, humble, curious, loving, exploratory, visionary, constructively challenging. If you're not following Rehenna and you have some interest in improving human performance, I invite you to go and follow her work today. We had a quite incredible exploration yesterday, and such an amazing human, so grateful to call her a friend. Later on, after seeing that incredible human, I met another human, fellow better, braver, bolder marketing community member, and really, really cool human being, Mr. Kiera Morris, doing a lot of great work around voice coaching and actually helping people find their voice. If you're somebody that's maybe a public speaker, maybe you're a senior leader, somebody that would love to hold the space and invite people in much more better, much clearer, much more succinctly, much more passionately, whatever it means to you to show up more fully through your voice, embodying that voice of yours, do check out with Kiera. And I'm going to do a little bit of work with him myself around trying to get a bit clearer in how I communicate my value, both within and outside of my corporate space. So I'd love for you to do follow Kieran's work, another amazing human. We had such fun catching up last night. Onto a piece of writing that I found really, really, really powerful. Really, really powerful. It's by a new person in my network. I don't know Leah yet. But I'm very grateful that they connected with me yesterday, and they wrote this incredibly powerful open letter to white people on the benefits of being anti-racist. So this may or may not be a new bit of terminology for you. It's something that I'm continuing to feel and find my way with. But what we're talking about here is, there is systemic challenges, and of course, on the one side you can say systems aren't real, they're made up. But at the end of the day, in order for us to get by as human beings in the world today with 8 billion people, we need to find ways to interrelate and to work with one another, and systems help that, right? But the problem is certain people are locked out because of these systems, whether it be access to education, whether it be access to healthcare, whether it be access to money. Unfortunately, black folk, LGBT folk, brown folk, too many folk that are not sharing my complexion and skin tone, due to 500-600 years of division and segregation and ongoing stupidity, basically, and colonial mindset mainly, has led to this crazy division that we have. And I don't know about you, but I feel like it's actually collapsing. The matrix is actually collapsing, but that's for another conversation. What I found with this post by Leah is that it was super accessible. So I really invite you, check out, this link is in the show notes below, whether you're watching me live or watching this back on YouTube or on LinkedIn. Really, really interesting. So here's the question that Leah posts. Bearing in mind, they are leading a diverse leadership group. What is in it for white people to give up the power they hold and have worked so hard to gain and maintain over centuries? Bearing in mind, a lot of that oppression, division, mostly you would say to yourself, it doesn't happen anymore. But it does. It happens in the form of land grabs. It happens in the form of mergers and acquisitions. It happens in the form of the so-called meritocracy not actually being a thing. There's so many different ways that this actually pops up that allows me and us, those that share my skin, just because of the way things are set up, it means that we have more privilege, more advantage. So why would we give that up? You know, what's to say that if you suddenly had a bunch of brown and black human beings leading the world, that they wouldn't want to hold on to their power and not give it up, right? So it's a power issue and the centralisation and the privilege that comes with it. That's the problem. So I really love how Leah speaks brilliantly to this, that what if we got rid of the fear of giving up that power, that fear of letting people get close to us, fear of the belief that there's not enough, right? And I just love how Leah speaks so powerfully to this from a real place of care and curiosity. And I invite you to check this out, because it's one of the most accessible, one of the most powerful, one of the most inclusive, genuinely, of every human being I can think of. And also you can include non-life with that, because this is critical. How do we come from a place of connection, love, curiosity, willing to do the work to take down the structures that unfortunately keep too many people in bondage, suppressed, divided? Yeah. How do we do that? We do that by coming from a place of curiosity, a place of wanting to embrace difference, embrace, you know, the different viewpoints that we all have. But we have to want to do that. We have to want to decolonize our mind, fellow white people. What that means is that meritocracy isn't real. We had a head start with education before, just from the very place we were born, and because of the systems that we were born into, we had a head start. Like, you just can't deny that. And what we're saying here is, how do we equalize that field together as the singular human race that we are? Just blows my mind. Amazing piece. Freedom from fear. That's what Leah's pointing to. Freedom to be enough just as you are. Freedom to stay in your own lane and focus on you while helping drive equity as a result. Freedom and focusing on your energy. Just amazing, 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 amazing post. And I've realized that I've sort of shared it I've shared it as a Gary expression. I've not shared it as a visual. But you can find it in the show notes. Go check it out. There it is. That's what I was talking about. That page is so, so critically important. Check it out. Beautiful messaging. Super inclusive. Really inviting to every single one of us. Go check it out. And the last couple of things I actually want to wrap up with is Shahana and I have created, and we are now co-creating with you, the community Campfire series of live dialogues. It's something we want to be bringing to you in your locality. It's something we want to be bringing to you into your organisation. It's a way to co-create and imagine new narratives that takes away from the organisation as a machine, growth at all costs, you know, the mergers and acquisition to be able to expand. You know, there's all these different narratives that we hold as true today that we know are not going to serve us for the future going forward. So we're looking, Shahana and I, to find people, brave, courageous, exploratory people out there that want to be part of this dialogue, want to co-create and reimagine together. So here's the first one that we did on Monday with Paul McCarthy, founder and CEO of Fire Leadership. Sarah, unfortunately, couldn't get on due to tech issues, but she did join us in the exploration in the comments. You can find this in the link as well. Check it out. It's amazing. Really incredible conversation. The first one that we've gone exploring from. I think you'll take an awful lot of value from it. And then the second one that we did on Tuesday of last week was with two amazing leaders within self-managed structures. And that is Tom van der Lubbe of Visi Mortgages and Haluk Kanher, who's the self-fired CEO of chemical manufacturer and distributor Latro. Check this out. This is a stunning conversation talking about things such as, you know, you can make profit and be purposeful. It's not either or, it is about that and. I talk about the and in this a lot. That's come up a lot in dialogue today. It came up with me and Rahenna earlier this week. You know, how do we design to allow us to grow healthily increasingly aligned with nature's systems, bringing in those people. And even Tom spoke about you can be best in class and go for degrowth, where we actually in the global north reduce our consumption and allow those in the global south to use what they need to use to increase their level of life, their access to technology and education, etc. And also us learning from them, of course, and their indigenous and their local ways without nicking it as our own. So much value in so much of this conversation, I cannot tell you. It was stunning. So I really think if you're open and curious about co-creating new narratives, that is a wonderful place to go and explore. And finally, just for a bit of fun, I had a supplier meeting today, and I was able to hold it with my good friend and supplier contact at Flight Club. Have you ever been to Flight Club? There's a number of them around the world, in the US and also in Europe. Absolutely brilliant. Such good fun. 2 hours, just really laughing, playing a range of different games. I loved being able to, with everything that's going on, decompress, chill out, have a real meaningful connection with my supplier, and also have some fun, which is something that we need to be doing while we navigate these collapsing times. Take care. Hope some of that's helpful. If you watch or listen to this back, and have a great weekend. And until then, have a good one. And go and check out Giuseppe.